Okay, so let's just do this last one. So we can use limits to help us draw graphs as well. So these different limit statements tell us something about the graph. So as x goes to negative infinity, we can see that f of x goes to 1. Well, what does that mean? That means that we have on the negative side a horizontal asymptote at 1. As x approaches negative 3, we're going to have a value of 2. Okay, so it looks like that. Maybe I'll just color code this so that we can kind of see where these pieces are coming from. Okay, so as x approaches 3, negative 3, we're going to have a value of 2. Okay, but the actual coordinate is going to be down here. Okay, but we know that it's approaching from both sides. Okay, so we know that it's going to flow through that point. At negative 2, as x approaches negative 2, we're going to have a value of 3. Okay, so I'm going to just do maybe this one in green. And as we approach 2 from both sides, we're going to hit a value of 3. And it's going to go through that point like that. Okay, and it looks like at negative 2, there's no point that exists there. All right, so then we move on to the local max. There's the local max at 0, 4. Okay, so there's going to be a local max there. That's a coordinate that's defined, and we know that's a maximum. So I'm just going to put a little maximum curve there. And I know that as we approach 1 from the negative side, it's going to go down to negative infinity. Oh, that's a vertical asymptote. Okay, and just checking here, as it approaches 1 from the positive side, it goes to positive infinity. So that indicates to me that there's a vertical asymptote at 1. Okay, and it looks like it's going to go down on this side, and it's going to go up on this side. Okay, so let's move on. X equals 2, y equals 0. Okay, so that point's going to be here. So I've got a coordinate right there. So that line's got to pass through that point. And then we have a local minimum at 4, negative 1. So 4 over negative 1, that looks like it's a local minimum. So I'm going to put a little curl like that. Okay, and lastly, and this looks like a horizontal asymptote. As we approach infinity, we're going to have a horizontal asymptote at 0. So kind of putting this all together then, okay, my graph looks like it's going to follow the asymptote like this, go through those points. It's going to have a max here, goes down to the vertical asymptote. Okay, it's going to go through this point here. It's going to go through the local min, and then it's going to go along the x-axis like that. Okay, so I'm just going to get rid of that there. Okay, we'll just draw that a little bit better. Okay, so we figured that little section out from that. Okay, and again, I'm just going to clean up this vertical asymptote here. So there it is. There's our graph. We have that extra point there. Okay, all the details of what we've been given here kind of have been highlighted on this graph.